Episode 105 of Renegade Immortal finally brings us to one of the most critical turning points in Wang Lin's journey inside the Tianyunzi sect. The long-awaited birthday banquet of Tianyunzi, the sect's legendary master who has lived for 10,000 years, becomes the stage for conspiracies, betrayals, and life-and-death duels that will forever reshape Wang Lin's standing among his peers. The preview begins with Wang Lin discovering faint clues related to Zhou Yi within the Tianyunzi sect. This discovery is not accidental. Zhou Yi's existence, once an unparalleled sword spirit roaming the vast starry sky, left imprints wherever he went. For Wang Lin, who still carries gratitude toward Zhou Yi for his countless life-saving aids, even the smallest trace sparks deep emotions. But before he can fully piece together these clues, a storm brews within the sect. Zhao Xingsha, the eldest disciple of the Purple Lineage, had always been fixated on obtaining the title of Tianyunzi's 7 sons. To him, this was more than a title. It was prestige, authority, and the future of his cultivation path. Yet Wang Lin's sudden rise, his unmatched combat power, and his ability to overcome opponents far above his cultivation realm made Zhao Xingsha feel as though a blade had been lodged in his throat. No matter how hard he tried, he could not ignore Wang Lin's presence. Fearing that his glory would be stolen, Zhao Xingsha began plotting in secret. With the help of his 4th junior sister, Zhao Xinmeng, whose cultivation had already reached the late stage of the infant transformation realm, and his 2nd senior brother, along with several disciples from the Qinglan Sect, they schemed to eliminate Wang Lin before the birthday banquet even began. Their plan was ruthless but precise. By relying on Zhao Xinmeng's teleportation technique, they forcefully transported Wang Lin hundreds of thousands of miles away from the sect. For any ordinary cultivator, being exiled this far during such a crucial time would mean missing the banquet entirely, thus forfeiting any chance of competing for the title of the 7 sons. But Wang Lin was no ordinary cultivator. Even though he had been trapped, he quickly adjusted his mentality. Instead of wallowing in despair, he took advantage of the time to consolidate his cultivation. With the massive reserves of immortal jade he had acquired, over 100,000 pieces thanks to unclaimed resources from the long-defected disciple Sun Yun, Wang Lin began a closed-door cultivation. Within 3 months, he broke through to the middle stage of the infant transformation realm. This was no small feat. The infant transformation realm is a threshold where power skyrockets, and every breakthrough represents a leap in destructive potential. Wang Lin had already been invincible at the early stage. Now, with this breakthrough, he stood shoulder to shoulder with Zhao Xingsha himself. The day of Tianyunzi's 10,000th birthday, banquet arrived with grandeur. Sect leaders, powerful guests from surrounding planets, and disciples of the various lineages gathered in the grand halls of the Tianyunzi sect. It was both a celebration and a gathering of Dao discussion, where mighty cultivators shared their insights and ambitions. To many, the banquet symbolized unity and legacy. But to Wang Lin and Zhao Xingsha, it was the battlefield that would determine supremacy within the Purple Lineage. Just as Zhao Xingsha believed his scheme had succeeded, that Wang Lin was gone, trapped and powerless. Wang Lin shattered the restriction that held him with the terrifying force of the demon transformation finger. Guided by Cao Yidu, a local from Tianyunzi Star, Wang Lin rushed back. By the time he reappeared, the banquet was already in full swing, and his sudden arrival shook the atmosphere. The declaration of war was inevitable. In front of elders, disciples, and honored guests, Wang Lin openly challenged Zhao Xingsha. This act stunned many, for such challenges were not commonly raised during the master's grand celebration. But instead of stopping them, most elders simply watched with cold detachment. To them, such conflicts among disciples were nothing new. Only those who survived and rose to the top were worthy of carrying the mantle of the sect. Faced with Wang Lin, Zhao Xingsha's confidence wavered. Perhaps he had sensed that something was different. The Wang Lin before him was not the same as the one he had plotted against months ago. The aura surrounding him was stronger, heavier, filled with the oppressive might of someone who had crossed a life-or-death threshold. In an attempt to buy time and tilt the odds, Zhao Xingsha ordered Zhao Xinmeng to engage Wang Lin. But Zhao Xinmeng, bound by a past debt and unwilling to bear karmic retribution, refused to act. She clearly stated that her favor had already been repaid and she would not interfere further. With her refusal, Zhao Xingsha's plan began to crumble. To make matters worse, Wang Lin's second senior brother, who had always been hostile toward him, suddenly stepped forward to strike. Using a forbidden technique bestowed by Tianyunzi, the immortal demon body, he hoped to suppress Wang Lin. But this was his fatal mistake. Against the current Wang Lin, his efforts were nothing but illusions. Wang Lin unleashed the full might of his cultivation, crushed his opponent, and mercilessly pulled his soul into the 1 billion soul banner. This act sent a chilling message. Wang Lin was no longer to be trifled with. Now only Zhao Xingsha remained. Out of desperation, he summoned an ancient demonic phantom, a secret technique meant to amplify his combat strength. But Wang Lin was already prepared. Unlocking the power of his second archer chariot, his killing intent soared skyward. Just as the clash was about to erupt with devastating force, Tianyunzi himself intervened. Unwilling to let his sect's grand celebration descend into chaos, Tianyunzi ordered his junior brother Qi Liye to halt the battle. Zhao Xingsha's schemes were exposed, and as punishment, Tianyunzi forced him into seclusion, stripping him of the right to compete for the title of the Seven Sons. The irony was bitter. After years of plotting, Zhao Xingsha lost everything in a single stroke, not because of others, but because of Wang Lin's unyielding rise. As for Zhao Xinmeng, she approached Wang Lin out of guilt. To show sincerity, she gifted him the jade slip containing the 9 transformations of immortal refining technique, and passed on the teleportation that had once been her trump card. Wang Lin accepted it calmly. He was not one to dwell on grudges unnecessarily. If someone chose goodwill, he would not pursue vengeance. Thus, the banquet moved toward its climax. Tianyunzi's preaching began, and the true competition for the Seven Sons loomed ever closer. With Zhao Xingsha eliminated, the greatest obstacle was gone. Now all eyes were on Wang Lin, the new rising star of the Purple Lineage, the disciple who had turned conspiracy into triumph, and the one destined to walk further on the path of immortality. Episode 105 ends on this powerful note, leaving us eager for what comes next. Wang Lin has not only survived, but has gained recognition, resources, and techniques that will shape his path forward. But as always in the world of Renegade Immortal, every victory invites even greater challenges. And that concludes the thrilling events of episode 105 of Renegade Immortal. From the scheming plots of Zhao Xingsha to Wang Lin's unshakable rise at Tianyunzi's 10,000th birthday banquet, we've witnessed yet another step in his path of rebellion against the heavens. Wang Lin not only shattered the traps laid for him, but also broke through to a new cultivation realm, proving once again that his determination and strength cannot be suppressed by schemes or betrayal. But if there is one thing we've learned from Wang Lin's journey so far, it's that every victory opens the door to even greater trials. With the Seven Sons competition still ahead, with Zhou Yi's fate still unresolved, and with Tianyunzi's true intentions cloaked in mystery, Wang Lin's road will only grow more dangerous. What do you think lies in store for Wang Lin now that Zhao Xingsha has been stripped of his qualifications? Will new enemies rise from the shadows? Will Zhou Yi's sealed sword intent lead to his return? And how will the 9 transformations of immortal refining technique change Wang Lin's destiny? If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you won't miss the next deep dive into Renegade Immortal. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your theories and insights are always welcome here. Until next time, this is where we end today's narration. Stay tuned, because the rebellion against immortality has only just begun.